Welcome to this edition of the Delmarva Almanac. Spring is just about over here on Delmarva, and that means just about everywhere you look, the landscape is dressed in its finest greenery. Recently, I had a great walk in Pemberton Park in Salisbury, Maryland. It was late afternoon and the place was quiet with few other visitors. The bugs weren't out much yet. Now if you go there, you probably would need some repellent to be comfortable. The serene trails were lined with ferns, and wild iris were blooming along the creek banks. I saw a few small songbirds and vultures, but the best wildlife picture was of this little broad-nosed skink. After leaving the park and driving through what might be considered one of Salisbury's high-rent districts, I came across this osprey nest, which seemed to fit right in with the neighborhood with its own lovely little garden. Across the area, daisies and other wildflowers have been blooming for weeks, including winter vetch and renegade wild roses along many roadsides. Mountain laurel, which are native plants known to bloom biannually, are having a bumper year. Butterflies are starting to show up, like this little variegated fritillary. Water lilies are starting to bloom, and frogs are out in full force. I saw this northern water snake south of Pocomoke City near Hickory Point. At first I thought it was a black racer, but when I got home and looked at the image up close, I noticed it had rings. A little help from Jim Rapp at the Lower Shore Herp Atlas helped with the proper identification. By the way, they are always looking for sightings of reptiles and amphibians. The variety and numbers of these species are good environmental indicators. You can help by visiting their webpage and letting them know what you've found in your Lower Delmarva neighborhood. Last week, on a trip to Prime Hook in Delaware, eastern prickly pear cactus were blooming and willets could be seen on their nests. The variety of shorebirds you can see here is really terrific. From a distance, I saw ruddy turnstones and this black-bellied plover. Snowy egrets were abundant, as were gulls and a variety of terns, including this nimble little Forster's tern. But the black skimmers put on the best show of the day. There was quite a large flock of them on the sandbar nearby. A few came very close to shore to snack on baitfish and show off their acrobatic skills. All during this month, the days begin with sunrise around 5:30 and sunsets close to 8:30. The longest day of the year and official beginning of summer is on the 20th, with the solstice occurring in our time zone at 7:09 p.m. The next full moon will be July 3rd. By the new moon on June 19th, the night skies should be sparkling with meteor showers. They are literally expected just about all month long, and with balmy temperatures, who needs an excuse to go stargazing? Atlantic hurricane season begins on June 1st and lasts until November 30th. This year's forecast is for 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. According to NOAA, we've had the warmest spring on record, so it's no surprise that we've already had 2 named storms, Alberto and Beryl. Here's hoping the rest of them stay well out to sea. Fishing season never really ends here on the shore, but in June things really heat up. On the upper shore in freshwater and tidal streams you can catch bass, crappie, catfish, and white perch. In lower shore freshwater streams there's lots to look for: perch, carp, herring, bass, pickerel, long-nosed gar, and crappie. On the upper shore Chesapeake and Delaware bays there's rockfish, bluefish, spot, and croakers. On the midshore Chesapeake Bay, anglers are catching rockfish, bluefish, spot, redfish, and black drum. Further south on the Chesapeake, they're seeing these along with flounder, red drum, and croaker. Over on the Atlantic Ocean and coastal bays, look for bait fish like croaker, bunker, and for those shark hunters, bluefish. Rockfish, black drum, and flounder are also starting to show up in good numbers. Both rockfish and bluefish are doing well in the ocean surf, as are kingfish and spot. And the offshore season has gotten off to a wild start, with folks catching wahoo and a nice variety of dolphin, tuna, shark, and marlin, all because of our nice warm spring. It is now required to have a fishing license in fresh and salt waters, so be sure and visit your local bait and tackle shop or your state's Natural Resources Department website for all the regulations. If you're a visitor, check the state you'll be fishing in. Visit the in-season webpage for links to these local fishing forums and a list of tournaments and other outdoor events. You'll also find a list of some freshwater lakes and ponds open to the public. Be sure and check our community calendar for all kinds of fun things to do outdoors this summer, including fireworks and other patriotic activities to celebrate the upcoming July 4th holiday. And don't miss this month's art stroll at your local arts district on Delmarva. These are usually held on a Friday or Saturday night and are a great night out, often with free entertainment. Thank you for watching the Delmarva Almanac. This has been a Moonshell production.